Never mind. The stories of the Curse of the South Bridge take in a fairly predictable path. They are stories of a dark presence, stalking people, picking them off in the darkness. Now, fear of the dark is one of the oldest human things. It's called an irrational fear, because you're not afraid of the dark, you're afraid of the potential of what can happen in the dark. And that is, in theory, irrational. Only it's not. There is an experiment being done a long time ago to demonstrate the difference between matter and light. It's called the double-slit experiment. The basics of this are quite simple. This may sound a bit complicated, but don't worry, the important bit is really simple when we cut to it. What you do with the double-slit experiment is you get a projector or a gun that fires matter, particles of matter, little marbles, tiny marbles, and then you get one that fires light, like a torch, and you fire them at the wall. But between the wall and the projector, you put a card with a single slit in it. Now, matter, being small particles of solid, either bounces off the card or fires through the slit. And on the wall behind, the matter hits in the same shape as the slit. You get one slit pattern in the wall. Light does the same. It either bounces off the card or passes through the slit, and you get a one slit pattern in light. But to demonstrate the difference, you put two slits in the card. Now, matter behaves just the same way. It bounces off the card or it goes through either one of the slits, and you get two slits on the wall behind you. But light is different. Light's a wave, like in water, and when it shines through two slits, that makes two distinct waves. These two waves of light then come into contact and they create a ripple effect, an interference pattern. So instead of two lights on the wall, like with matter, you get a series of lights, an interference pattern. That was, for a long time, the difference between matter and light. But quantum physics is the science of the very small. And when quantum physicists do a double-slit experiment, they do it with single, tiny particles of matter or light. And when quantum physicists did the double-slit experiment with the smallest possible particles, they found something very unsettling. If you fire one particle at a time of tiny matter through the double slit and watch over time, what develops is not a double slit. You get an interference pattern. That's weird, they said. Wonder why that happened. So they attached a device to measure the trajectory of the matter. And when they attached the measuring device, the results changed. They got a double slit. Oh, they said, must have just been an anomaly. So they took the device away, and they got an interference pattern. They put it back on, they got a double slit. Because what this experiment has proven, in a very high-brained way of saying it, is a very simple fact. There is no way that you can observe anything in the universe without fundamentally affecting it. The smallest way you can affect something is to bounce a particle of light off it, a photon. And bouncing a photon off something changes it. The better way of looking at this, and the much simpler way of looking at this, is that what the double-slit experiment has shown is that the universe does one thing when it's observed. But when it is not being observed, it can do something very different. So, do I believe in curses? Do I believe in ghosts? Do I believe in impossible things? Wrong question. Because it really doesn't matter what you believe. And it really doesn't matter what I believe. The universe plays by its own rules and we just try and figure it out as best we can. The question that you should ask yourself is the question that Edinburgh City Council should have asked itself before booking their old witch. The question is, do you tempt fate? Because I don't believe that curses, ghosts and weird things happen when they are being observed, which is why nobody catches really good stuff on cameras. But if you turn your back on the universe, if you close your eyes on the universe, or if you turn out all the lights on the universe, the rules change, and anything can happen. So the question I would like to put to you, standing in the cursed and haunted South Bridge, for every human being who stepped inside, died within 6 months of entering, the question I would like to ask you is, would you mind if we turned all the lights out and saw if the universe misbehaved? If you're thinking no, you're on the wrong tour.